Hey everyone, it's your favorite host, Marcus Norman of the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Today we are in for a treat. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, entrepreneurship. But I'm bringing to the stage here the mother of all entrepreneurs. This man has had his hand in all sorts of type of entrepreneurial endeavors, doing from trucking, specializing in several multi-million-dollar companies, as well as an investor. This man coming to the stage, you won't want to miss 1 second of what he has to share on the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Stay tuned, stay with us. Here we go. Welcome back to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I'm your favorite host, Marcus Norman, coming to you live. And today we have Edwin Carrion, who's a God-made millionaire, family-oriented man, investor, mentor, you name it, he's done it. Throughout his run, he has founded several multi-million-dollar companies that specialize in things like real estate development, transportation and logistics, investing, business education, and now he consults. Backed by 20 years of extensive experience in various industries, Mr. Edwin now shares his passion for entrepreneurship by mentoring others. Since he realized his passion, he realized most people don't live life to their fullest potential. And he's going to talk about that and share some of that today on the stage. Help me welcome to the stage, Edwin Carrion.
Hey, Marcus, how are you? Thank you for having me here today.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us, sir. It's an honor to have such an experienced entrepreneur on the show. Sir, I feel like I'm moving in slow motion right next to you because you are doing it. I am lacking.
But thank you. Thank you for that amazing intro. It was great to hear that. And, it always boosts my ego every time that I hit that intro. But it's a good reflection of how long I have come from my early beginnings.
Yes, sir. Well, you did the work. Like you said, you did the work from early beginnings. And I want to say this first and foremost. Thank you. You're a Marine Corps veteran, so thank you for your dedicated service and commitment to our country. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Diving right in, sir. You have an incredible mind. You've done numerous different things. What started the path? What sparked the fire in you to become an entrepreneur?
What started the fire, what sparked the fire, was growing up without having much and being surrounded by people that had a lot more than me. So it gave me that passion that I want to become successful. I want to have what they have. I want to learn how to do that. I want to be at their level, and that's what really started the passion for that. And when I was living at 14 years old in an apartment building, in a small apartment, a two-bedroom apartment with my mom and my brother, I started washing cars for other people. And that's when the entrepreneurship started, washing cars at 14 years old.
That is super, super young to start. At 14 years old, you were washing cars. And what was it about washing cars that you realized, hey, there's an opportunity? What was it about washing cars specifically?
Oh, okay. So it was funny. So the story is, I counted all the apartments that we had in the building. I'm like, oh, wow, there's a lot of cars here. I can make a lot of money just washing cars for everybody. So I started going down and knocking doors and asking people to wash their cars. And I had enough cars that I asked my friend, my best friend at that time, I asked him, hey, can you help me wash some cars? Because I have too many for myself. And then I continued doing sales, continued getting more cars, more clients. Then I realized that we had too many cars for him and I. So we hired another friend of ours and I let them wash the cars. And then I'm like, wow, you know what? I don't like working hard. I like delegating. So this is kind of cool. So I started doing what I was good at, which is sales, going out there, knocking doors, talking to people, asking them to let me wash their cars. And that's how kind of everything started, just with that. And I learned that the power of leverage, that I need to help other people, giving them work, and then I don't have to get down and dirty. I could just kind of be the use my head, I use my mind, and just kind of go out there and do sales, do the things that I like. And that's how everything started.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's huge, and a lot of people get their starts in various different ways. But you got your experience, your first taste of entrepreneurship, doing the legwork and doing the hard work, and then realizing, hey, I can do this for me. I can do this for myself. And then you it sparked, the dots started connecting, and you realize what a lot of us realize is like, man, I don't want to be in the field so much anymore. I want to delegate. I want to give to others. I want to give back in that way. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that correct?
That's how I kind of started. I mean, I didn't really know the whole detail about business and this is what I'm going to do for business, but that's kind of how, how a little side gig started. From there on, I went to work for Publix, which was a grocery store, as a bag boy. And I took leadership and I took charge since the beginning. I always like to do everything the best that I could be. And within a couple of weeks, I was the head bag boy. So I was in charge of all the bag boys in the grocery store, making their schedule for the weekend. I was only working part-time. I was 14 years old, so I couldn't work full-time. But that moment, working for somebody else taught me, how to manage people, taught me how to create a schedule. It taught me responsibility too, because I had to walk like about 10 minutes from my house to my job, one way and then another way coming back, and had to wear the uniform. But then really fast I realized, who the good customers were, who will tip really good. And I will make sure that I only use the customers that will tip very well. So like that I could get good tips.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And that's true. You are hitting home for me right now, because my very first job, I bagged groceries. I wasn't the lead bag boy. I was very terrible. I wasn't that good where I was like teaching other baggers how to bag groceries, but that was
Okay.
my very first job. So you're hitting home for me. And I don't know what it is about bagging groceries as every young man's first job, but it does something to you, and it kickstarts and it ignites it gets the wheels turning. It really
Yes.
does.
It sure
Super.
does. It gets the wheels turning of teaching you, what hard work is, whether it teaches you if you want to be an employee for the rest of your life, and also teaches you whether if you want to work for somebody for the rest of your life. And to me, that's when I realized, hey, I need to do something for myself, because I don't see myself working for somebody else for the rest of my life.
Very true. So true. Very true. You have had your hands in several multi-million-dollar businesses. What are some of your early mistakes that you made that you would advise other people to be on the lookout for when they're starting their business, or they're thinking about starting a business? What are some recommendations you would give them out in the audience?
Uh, I mean, my recommendation is what I teach everyone to do. 90% of entrepreneurs and people that actually have current businesses at this moment, they always miss uh, two most fundamental things that you have to have for every business, which number one is creating a business plan. I guarantee you that 90% of the entrepreneurs do not have a business plan. They all know what they want to do, they all know where they want to get to, but there's nothing in writing. So when you don't have anything in writing, we all know the saying, out of sight, out of mind. And that's what happens, that we're eventually going to get to where we want to get to, but we don't get there fast enough because we don't have the business plan. So we have the actionable steps of how we're going to get to where we're going to get to. And then the second one is the cash flow sheet. The cash flow sheet is super important because that's the financial part of the business. And in business, if we all watch Shark Tank, if we all watch Marcus Lemonis, The Profit, or any type of business gurus, they're all going to tell you that you have to know your numbers in business. And putting a cash flow sheet together is exactly what that does to you. It helps you realize and figure out, okay, if I want to make $100,000 a year, what do I need to do on a monthly basis? I need to make $9,000 on a monthly basis. Okay, and in order for me to make $9,000 on a monthly basis, how much is that per day? And once you break it down per day, then you got to realize, okay, so if I got to make $300 per day, what is my average revenue income per customer? So, or what do I need to do in order to get to that point? So you always have to start on the macro and then work yourself way back to the micro. And a cash flow sheet will help you do that.
Mr. Edwin Carrion, y'all. We have one quick, short commercial break. You guys don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Support for Gentleman Style Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers you precision engineering tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off free worldwide shipping with the code GENSTYLE at manscaped.com.
Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. We are back to the incredible Gentleman Style Podcast Show, and we have the incredible Edwin Carrion. This man is spilling some of his business secrets and mentoring secrets. He teaches, he coaches to this on how entrepreneurs can avoid the pitfalls of starting their own business and getting involved. And he shared a little bit of his story, how it started, and it's kind of a mutual thing, how it started with bagging groceries for a young man. Sir, how has the Marine Corps, thank you for your service. You joined the Marine Corps. How has the Marine Corps helped you transition to entrepreneurship? What leadership characteristics, if any, trickled over and followed you into business?
There's a lot of leadership characteristics. And before I get there, I just want to say that you mentioned that, it gave back. You felt back because you were back way at the beginning too, when you started young. And I always say, we're all end up being interconnected in one way or another. We're all connected. All humans are connected. We can relate to each other because we have all gone through the same struggles somewhere along the line. And that's how we connect with each other. And it's amazing to know that. And if we could learn from those experiences, from those connections, it just takes us to a whole, another higher level. But the Marine Corps was amazing. I had a great experience in the Marine Corps. And what I took from the Marines was the most valuable things that I took from being in the Marine Corps were my values, the honor, the courage, the commitment of being a person of honor, being a person of courage, being a person of commitment. And courage means not giving up, and always striving and pushing forward no matter what the obstacles were. And in life, this happens. In business, it happens that there's times that we just want to walk away. We say, if we don't go over this hurdle, we're gonna lose everything. We're gonna quit. What do we do? And that courage, that commitment to doing what I want to do, to building the life of my dreams, had kept me going, day in and day out. But also the other couple of key components that I took from the Marine Corps was Semper Fi, always being faithful to what I do, always being faithful to the people around me, to my wife. That's why, one of my things that you always notice that I mentioned, I am a loyal husband, because being faithful is, what is branded in me, what is part of me.
Wow. I forgot to mention, y'all, he has a heart of gold, a true heart of gold, and a family man. If I failed to mention that, family is important. At the core of him, family is what should be motivating some of us. It's at the core that motivates us all. Which are your favorite types of businesses that you've owned and operated or are in operation today?
My favorite one is the one that I have the most passion for, which is real estate development. I have been doing that for 20 years, and I love that business because it's just like anything else in life. That when I do real estate development, I start something from scratch. I build it, and I always am able to put little things into the house because I always tell my kids. I still drive around 20 years later, and I tell my kids, "Look, that's the first house that I built, and I know that house is going to be there for the next 100 years because the way it was built." So to me, that's like such a pleasure, such a passion, and kind of leaving a legacy behind. So that gives me a lot of pleasure. I love creating something from scratch and building a big. Businesses are the same way. When I start a new business, it's like having a new baby, watching them grow, and then until I'm able to sell that company. But the other thing that I take a lot of pleasure in is teaching people how to become successful. Not only how to become successful in business, but how to become successful in life and how to live life to the fullest. And I realized that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people give up a lot of things in their life, give up their dreams, give up their perfect life in order to become successful because all they're worried about is chasing the money. And I teach people that if you stop chasing the money, if you stop doing business, and if you start focusing on being happy, everything else will come along. And that's one of the biggest learning lessons that I got throughout these 20 years in business.
So what you're saying, so I want to be clear because money, I need money to run a business, right? But so what you're saying, do I really need money to start a business or to monetize my business?
No, you don't. You do not need money to start a business. There's plenty other ways. Actually, now that you mentioned that, my first company, my real estate development company that I started with no money. I actually had to borrow money because I didn't have any money. I came out of the Marine Corps with debt. And my second business, my jewelry business that I started and I sold for millions, that company as well, I had no money because I was bankrupt after the 2007 bubble. And I was able to start and grow a multi-million-dollar company with that, with just borrowing other people's money. So it goes back into always being faithful, honor, courage, commitment, making sure that your word means everything. So the doors are always going to open up. So you do not need money to create. And then everything starts falling into place.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We have a question from our VIP sponsor, Miss Nikki Brown. She asked the question, what fuels your passion?
What fuels my passion? My passion in everything, it feels that to live my dream life. And I love this question and very good question. Thank you for asking this, Nikki. Um, is that if I were to get into an accident today and be in the hospital and they tell me I have an hour to die, I'm not going to regret the life that I had. I'm not going to say I should have done this or I should have done that. I'm going to say, damn, what a life, what a great life I had. I had the most amazing life because I was able to accomplish all the dreams that I had until today. And that's what fuels my passion.
Mm, mm. I needed to hear that. That was for me, Miss Nikki. I'm stealing your question. That was for me. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. You're an investor amongst everything, business owner, entrepreneur. You're an investor. What has been your best investment strategy that you've had the most success with?
My best investment strategy has been the people that I teach. Number one, meaning that when I have a student come to me, one of my promises to them is that I'm going to invest my own money with them in business. And because I believe in what I teach. So if I believe in what I teach, there's no reason why I wouldn't invest with them, right? Because I know they're going to be successful. So those are going to be my best investments. But the best investment that I have made is on myself, investing in myself, hiring the right mentors, hiring the right people to teach me and to help me grow, and not only financially, but accomplish the things that I want. Having a mentor that is going to get me closer to God, having a mentor that is going to help me have a good relationship with my wife, with my kids. I grew up without a father. I was raised by a single mother. So following people that are great fathers and looking up to them is what helps me become try to be a great dad.
So who's been a great dad or a great mentor in your life? Leaders lead leaders. So who's been the example in your life? Who is it that you follow that has set the path and set the tone for you?
I have quite a few. One of them is a good friend of mine. His name is Hussein. Um, Great father, great business guy, a great husband. Another friend, his name is Frank McKinley. He's a real estate developer. He's a Christian guy. He does this amazing works of arts and development, over $20 million houses. So, those are, I look up to people that share my same values. And I always tell people, if you want to follow me because you share the values, not because you want to have the money that I have, but follow me because you share the values that I have. And that's more important in life than anything else.
Amen. Amen. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. That was not planned, y'all. I was not expecting that. How do you determine what makes a good investment or what's a bad investment? What makes a good deal a good deal?
Okay. On that is very good. So what's a good deal? A good deal is something that is comfortable with what you're happy with. So I'll give you an example. To me, what is my comfort risk? If my comfort risk is 50%, if I'm willing to lose 50% of my money in something that I'm going to put in, that's my comfort risk. And what reward am I looking with that investment? So if I'm going to invest X amount of money and I'm looking for a 10% return, as long as it doesn't go past my level of risk and achieves my level of reward, I'm happy with that. And that's a good investment. Everybody has different levels of risk and different levels of rewards. So as long as you're content and you're happy with that, that's a good investment.
True. Makes sense. Makes sense. And I like that. I like how you dive deep and you really explain that and you share that risk is what you make it. Oftentimes people reach out to numerous people and they reach out to coaches and mentor and they ask the hard question. They ask, Marcus, I need your help with investing. Where do I get started? Well, that really depends on you. That really, really depends on you because you have to know what you want. You have to know in here what you're comfortable in. I can teach, to many different aspects, but what do you want to do? So that's huge. That's huge.
And one of the things I always tell people is invest where you're willing to risk. If you're not willing to lose it, don't invest. Invest where you're willing to lose. If you're not willing to lose it, don't invest it.
True. So true. What's the goal for you? What do you have coming down the pipeline? What's the next big investment? The world is crazy right now. Things are happening. Is it cryptocurrency? Is it blockchain? What's the next step for you? What's the next level?
The market, again, you said it's so crazy. Real estate investment is at its peak at this moment. I invest heavily into the Forex market at this time because I own a private investment fund, and we invest into the Forex market, which to me, that's the next big thing in investments, for the simple fact that as we go into a recession, into a bad economy, once we enter into a bad economy, another country becomes bigger and grows, and they have a better economy than us. So if I'm invested into the Forex currency market, meaning that I could take advantage of this economy and the other economy because I'm betting against them. And that helps out in leverage. Also, is being liquid and waiting for those amazing opportunities that are going to come up when a bad economy happens. Normally, I made millions through a bad economy. When the 2007 market crashed, I went bankrupt. But back in 2008, I became very successful again because I was on the precious metals market. And normally it happens when we go into a recession, into a bad economy, precious metals just go up the roof. So I'm heavily invested into precious metal, gold, silver, platinum, watches. Why? Because those are the assets that are going to go up when we enter into a recession. So it's kind of looking to see what you believe in and what you like, so you could invest into the next best thing when the market changes and when there's a shift in the economy.
Absolutely. Precious metals has always been scary for me. That's always been a unique investment because it's a tangible thing, right? It's a hard asset. But
Yes.
are diamonds included in precious metals? I don't know.
Diamonds are included, but it's not a metal, but it's a
Right.
commodity as well.
Yeah. So precious metals and minerals. Okay. Got it. I've always been curious about that. So we have an entrepreneur in the audience right now, right? Their back is against the wall. They're fearful. They're scared. They don't know what to do. What would you say to that young boy, that young girl out in the audience, right? Because it's our future. Our future children is going to be leading the pack. What advice would you give to that young girl or young boy out in the audience in getting started in entrepreneur? Do you recommend they bag groceries for their first job?
I mean, if you say there's an entrepreneur that's back to the wall, if he's an entrepreneur, meaning like he's doing something. Uh, so if you're doing something, is go back to your business plan, review it, and put that back in your head again. Because that means that you're back against the wall because you did not follow your plan. There was something that fell in your plan that you did not follow, or that you're not doing, and that's the only reason that you are with your back against the wall.
Makes sense. Sir, how you are inspiration and you have helped so many people get started in business. Where can people connect with you? Where can we reach out? Where can we learn more about you?
The best place, social media. Follow me in Instagram, Facebook. That's the best to follow me. Or I'm actually launching an event in May 20th and May 21st in Miami. I'm doing an event with a great friend of mine. He teaches people how to raise millions of dollars in capital. So we're hosting that event on May 20. We haven't posted the link yet because we're still working on the finalizing the details. But if you follow me on social media, you can learn more about that event.
Woo! Follow, connect, y'all. Gotta stay connected. I love this. Mr. Edwin, you have been phenomenal, and this has been impactful and truly, truly helpful. Thank you for giving back in this way. This helps me, and I hope this helps you and my audience members. So I want to say this to you publicly, sir. Don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. We need what you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And to everyone out there, if you have a question, if you need help in anything, just send me a message. People like myself are very reachable. All you need to do is ask.
Yeah. This in the world of information, the deaf man is blind. That's my new quote. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
you gotta look for opportunity, and it's there. It's there. The knowledge is there. There's no reason why we can't take advantage of Mr. Edwin. I'm kidding. Don't take advantage of him. I'm kidding. But
Take advantage. It's okay.
learn from him, but also pay it forward. Give back.
That's right.
Absolutely. Thank you all for tuning into the Gentleman Style Podcast show. I hope this message was helpful, and I hope this helps inspire you to go after your dreams. If you're bagging groceries and you're doing the hard work, just know it's gonna pay off.
That's
right?
Right.
Continue to push forward. Thank you, Mr. Edwin. I hope you all stay tuned for more of this today. We have a jam-packed episode later today, continuing the trend. I love you guys. Stay tuned, stay connected, and we have to go. I have to let Mr. Edwin go. He has several companies to run and manage. But
thank you.
Absolutely. Like I always end every show, take care of your friends, take care of your families, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman, your favorite gentleman, and Edwin Carrion signing off. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.